and Now biscuits.
NCD Governor announces float parade. PNG-NA on nurses' welfare. And new economic policies launched. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Natasha Ravoy. Thank you for joining us. Regular float parades will be held in Port Moresby as part of the 50th Jubilee celebrations. The parades were announced today in the schedule of events for the celebrations.
The parades will feature floats celebrating Pacific culture. They will highlight our neighbors who have helped PNG become a nation. The first parade will be held on Friday, and all Asia-Pacific nations will be showcasing their cultures every weekend. NCD Governor Powers Pakop launched the celebrations.
This month of May is a Pacific month. There will be great events taking place, great shows taking place, cultural, tattooing, dancing, singing, everybody coming together to celebrate Papua New Guinea. So I want to call on all our, residents in the city, people from around the country too. You're free to fly to Port Moresby and join us in the celebration. And then in June, our Asian community will be coming to celebrate as well.
He said the city is ready to celebrate and highlighted that it will be a great opportunity to celebrate how PNG has come this far.
It will be a great opportunity for us to showcase our journey that we have come this far. We are going to make a big statement.
The High Commissioner for New Zealand, Peter Swart, said his country is pleased to be celebrating with PNG to share the Pacific story.
It's an honour to me, and it would be wonderful to have Ngāti Whakaue visit, and I'm sure it will both be a great showcase of New Zealand, of Māori culture as a Pacific. We are a Pacific country. Māori are a Pacific people. We speak a Pacific language, and it's wonderful to be up here in the home of indigeneity, which is Papua New Guinea.
Nicole Rama, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guinea Nurses Association celebrated the International Nurses Day today at their headquarters in Port Moresby. The association also appealed to the government to take nurses' welfare seriously as they are the lifeline of the country.
On International Nurses Day, the president of the Nurses Association, Frederick Kebai, said lack of priority for nurses' welfare negatively impacts patient care and the overall health system.
In other words, the government has to look after the health workforce. The nurses, not only the nurses, but we are talking on behalf of the nurses because we represent the nurses. But doctors and all allied health workers, community health workers, they must be well looked after in terms of their...
Mr. Kebai said many nurses in Papua New Guinea are having trouble getting employment. He appealed to the government not to influence recruitment by bringing in nurses from overseas, rather look for ways to utilize the local nurses.
There should be 5,000 workers within the health sector must be employed immediately. However, that is taking too long. Also, on the part of the nursing, I would like to appeal to the government to ensure that a career path for the nursing profession must be put in place.
The president said the country has enough nurses, but a shortage of doctors. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
As effort towards combating HIV/AIDS, a three-party memorandum of understanding was signed between the Simbu Provincial Administration, Provincial Health Authority, and the National AIDS Council Secretariat recently. The agreement supports partners such as the district development authorities within Simbu province. The CEO of Kundiawa General Hospital, Dr. Ken Kasi, said it is an effort to provide effective AIDS programs and services in the province.
Simbu province, one of the example province in improving its HIV programs and reducing the HIV burdens. We might strive to get zero. It's not that it's hard, but it's just that we need to put our efforts together. This is the way forward for us.
The acting director for the National AIDS Council Secretariat, Victor Isa, said the partnership has two parts.
Two parts: MOB signing and one-stop shop, integrated service center. It's also important because the concept was to bring all services together at one central point.
Mr. Isa said Simbu is the fourth province to sign an agreement with the Secretariat.
So the first two provinces signed the MOA were Enga province and West Newbury. The third one is Western province. They signed the old MOA, not like a detailed one that you're going to sign now. And you are the fourth one.
There are calls for women to utilize family planning services available in the country.
The rising population and overwhelmed and inadequate maternity wards have prompted the president of PNG Midwifery Society, Mary Sitang, to call for better use of family planning services. She said the services are free.
Family planning is free. A child has to be born by choice and not by chance. So we have to plan our pregnancy. When we plan our pregnancy,
Mrs. Sitang said girls as young as 13 are being seen in the labor wards. She said they especially need to be using family planning.
13 up, we've been having teenage pregnancy as well in this labor ward, and we encourage women and girls. Family planning is free, and when you walk into a family planning clinic, you have to get a service. Service is free out there for you, and also to women, if you have babies, plan your babies, start 2 to 3 years or 4 years before you kiss it narapla baby. So you have enough time to look after your baby. So this is just a call for our women and girls. Please utilize the family planning services that is available.
Nicole Rama, National EMTV News.
2 men have been charged with fraud over the construction of police buildings in Southern Highlands province. The men were attempting to obtain 4.6 million kina and were arrested at police headquarters in Konedobu and charged with 1 count each of forgery.
In a statement, the police commissioner said both men are from the Southern Highlands province. They are heads in their 40s and they were quickly detained and charged. Commissioner Manning said the arrest is a warning to the public and those that attempt to defraud government agencies. He said accountability and oversight mechanisms have been strengthened and they ensure any fraud attempt is quickly identified. He acknowledged the diligence in vetting process carried out by police's infrastructure project team under the leadership of Deputy Commissioner Philip Mitna. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebasa din, ha? Yum!
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, 1 cube at a time. Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennell, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
Welcome to Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort in the heart of Kokopo. Nestled along the coastline with breathtaking views of the islands and volcanoes, we invite you to share this tropical island paradise with us. For your next business trip, leisure or marine adventure, call Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort to discuss your escape on 982-8788 or visit us on www.kbb.com.pg. Escape, explore, enjoy.
Secure your advertising today with MTV. Vocal Fusion Season 12. Book now. Contact our sales team on 312-9200 or email mtvsales@mtv.com.pg.
You're watching National MTV News. To officially mark the end of Dr. Osborne Liko's tenure as the Secretary of Health, a ceremony was held today in Port Moresby. Mr. Ken Wai now takes on the role as the Acting Secretary of Health. In a room full of health specialists, management, development partners and the Prime Minister, Dr. Liko took the opportunity to plead for the department, highlighting challenges.
At this ceremony to hand over the baton to Mr. Wai, the Acting Secretary, I welcome Mr. Wai. Today I have the honor of officially handing over the leadership. Ken brings with him deep institutional knowledge, proven leadership, and strong commitment to reform.
He had 5 years as secretary, and during that time, the Radiation Act was passed. Cancer centers were built in Lae and Port Moresby, and chemotherapy is now being available at 6 sites. Acknowledging him as a renowned surgeon and a urologist, Prime Minister James Marape said Dr. Liko would now advise him on health matters. Noting that he shares Dr. Liko's vision for health in PNG, Mr. Ken Wai welcomed his new role for the next 3 months.
3 months is not long, but Prime Minister has already said, make your own benchmark, so I'll have to do the same. But within this time, I want to make Department of Health a health-friendly, health-promoting department, including this building.
Mr. Wai will act in the role till a permanent secretary is appointed. Meanwhile, chairman of the Kidney Transplant Project Steering Committee at Port Moresby General Hospital, Dr. Okti Poki, announced that UK-based team partner Transplant Links Community have already arrived in the country. Dr. Okti Poki introduced the British team that will be assisting PNG's local team in the historic transplant.
They have traveled the world in many third world countries and helped establish kidney transplant programs like ours for many, many years.
Another team member will be arriving by Thursday.
And today, as I speak to you, the team is in the country. It's a 9-man team. There's some women in there as well too. They have already arrived here yesterday. One more is coming on Thursday. That makes up to 10. And this week, we are going to witness our first kidney transplant at Port Moresby General Hospital.
He acknowledged partners supporting the surgery, including the National Fisheries Authority. Dr. Poki said the local team conducting the transplant is optimistic about this week's operation.
We have come this far. It has never been easy. We have never done this. None of us is an expert, but we are working with expert partners.
The national government has launched new policies to build a more self-reliant economy. The Minister for Commerce and Industry said the policies aim to empower the economy.
The national manufacturing and content policies are part of an economic strategy to build a self-reliant, diversified and inclusive economy.
These two policies will only succeed through strong partnership between the government, private sectors, development partners, and most important, our people of this country.
Prime Minister James Marape said the policies are needed for economic prosperity.
We must shift from just exporting raw resources to a country that is now processing its own produces to be processed in its finished product wherever possible, to export finished product to market within reach.
Mr. Marape will meet with manufacturing companies starting next week to encourage more local manufacturing.
I want to meet those in the manufacturing space next week Monday for us to see and for you to look into this policy and tell me how we could make it work together. For those of you already in the business sector, in the mining and petroleum sector, look into these policies, we'll find a time for you. And for the fisheries sector, the agricultural sector, and the forestry sector, I will allocate a time for each and every one of you. Enough of giving excuses.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister stressed that jobs procured in the country must be outsourced to companies in the country.
Fear not the local content policy. Fear not the local content policy. We want to create companies who work and participate in business. Enough of Papua New Guineans just providing security contracts or catering contracts to mining and oil and gas companies. I believe Papua New Guinea can and must participate at higher levels of local contract. Any jobs that can be procured in country must be outsourced to companies in country.
Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru has pleaded with the partners of the joint venture Tuna cannery in Madang to sign a stakeholders agreement.
Minister Maru said the standalone fish cannery will cost around 160 million kina and he wants the partners to come to an agreement so work can commence.
We want to make it happen in the next few weeks. We want to go to Madang and launch this project. Madang has waited for 15 years. Adi, if you don't support us in agreeing to the text of the shareholders' agreement quickly, you are going to delay us. Please help us work with our team, our legal team, your team, to finalize the shareholders' agreement.
Mr. Maru said that if the project is a 50% partnership,
The state will put 80 million kina and RD Corporation 80 million kina. However, the private partners are concerned about how much tuna they will need to process each day. Chairman of the RD Corporation, Ronald Rivera, said a change of policy meant the cannery had to produce 300 tons per day, but it will start at 100 tons.
Our main concern is really just supply. That's the number one requirement of a tuna cannery. Recently, the regulation has been changed that if you're fishing in Papua New Guinean waters, 35% must be landed here, must be processed here.
Mr. Rivera said a change in policy affected the existing RD tuna canners.
Even our existing tuna cannery, which is the RD tuna canners, there's abundant supply. So now we are running now at around 150, 160, 180 tons per day. Previous to that policy or last year, we were only running at 60, 70 tons per day.
Minister Maru said the government wanted to replace imported canned fish with locally produced product.
We can't keep importing 777 fish which come from PNG, goes to some other country and comes back to us in 777. It's a joke.
Jacinta Doctor, National MTV News.
The Road Traffic Authority has announced an end of transition from the Motor Vehicle Insurance Limited that will come into effect this month. Collaboration to improve health in our region is being extended. The Indo-Pacific Security Health Alliance Conference will go to Malaysia next year.
After the 3 days of meetings in Port Moresby, it was agreed that health security would be enhanced by the new agreement.
We look forward to continuing our work together to advance our collective preparedness. Together we can improve our readiness by ensuring that the defense and health security sector has a sustained platform in civilian-led health security efforts nationally and regionally.
Captain Roberts encouraged the PNZDF to continue their engagement with the Alliance.
We continue our work together and hope you will join us in Yokohama, Japan at the Indo-Pacific Military Health Exchange taking place from the 2nd to the 5th of December of this year.
Director General Operational Health and Air Force Health Services, Air Commodore Nicole dos Santos, said her reflections on the 3-day conference.
Throughout the week, I was particularly moved by the stories that we heard, not just of challenges, but of innovation and resilience, of teams moving from incident to incident and caring above all with strength and compassion. These stories remind us that solutions often begin at the local level and that regional leadership can empower and harness local action.
She said they have an established collaboration agreement that facilitates their operations across all regions.
Magnificent artwork. At the centre is the interconnected network, orange representing our civilian colleagues and purple our combined joint defence and security services. An interlaced network of information, tools and strength that supports our region.
Benson Wema, National MTV News.
And now we take a look at the NESFAN market report. The kina closed lower at $0.2447 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2372, $0.3669 Australian dollars, €0.2034 euro, and 34.23 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower. Coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copper closed unchanged, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Stare at him. Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
This May and June, Port Moresby comes alive with the historic Asia Pacific Month, a spectacular celebration of our shared heritage and unity. Join us as we honor 50 years of independence by celebrating the nations that helped shape PNG. From May 16 to June 21st, experience the cultures and stories of our Asia Pacific family. Our nationhood was shaped by centuries of connection with our Asia Pacific family. Now, we celebrate this history together. Taste the authentic cuisines, witness breathtaking performance, and explore our shared history, all in amazing Port Moresby. Don't miss the Asia Pacific Month, every weekend from May 16th to June 21st. Free entry for all. We work, we inspire, we celebrate.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
The trade balance between PNG and Europe is in the favor of PNG for 4 billion kina.
Join us tonight at 7 as we hold discussions with the European Union delegation to Papua New Guinea.
So it's about public diplomacy, it's about trade and relations, it's about defining how we work with the government. So this is the usual role of any, I would say, embassy in the world.
That's on tonight.
You're watching National MTV News. The PNG Nurses Savings and Loan Society will officially start providing financial services, especially loans to its members as of 26th of May 2025. The president of PNG Nurses Association revealed this today.
According to CEO Justin Pindipi, the PNG Nurses Savings and Loan Society Limited, which was established in February 2024, now has over 600 members. Mr. Pindipi said the Savings and Loan Society would give loans at a low interest rate.
I sit down and sleep and dream about what I am doing as a person, delivering this Savings and Loan Society to do that. Let me give you the reason. They provided the acumen, they provided benefits, they provide everything together for nurses. And there is one part singly blanketed and then embalmed or emblemed into it as a service to the nurses. That comes in with the biggest picture, welfare terms and conditions. And that's what I can understand from this group, that the terms, welfare terms and conditions of employees, I think it's better taken care of by PNG Nurses Association.
While the Savings and Loan Society is being established for the welfare of its members, Pindipi urged the nurses not to abuse the financial services that are available. He said they should save more and only access those services when needed.
We are not even 900 years, we won't be. 100 years, we won't be, never. Our timelines average is 55, 65. So I want to emphasize these nurses. The operation, it will open, but it doesn't mean that quickly you come and borrow. Leave your money. Money is safe in the hands of this savings and loan society. Management, regulatory, consider this. This financial institution is not like a finance company that you have. It's not run by private companies.
Mr. Pindipi applauded the NESES Association for establishing the financial institution. He said not many in the public services have such, and the NESES in the country should take pride in it. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
It is called a missing link, but not for long. The Chuave to Salt Nomane Karamui Road project has been prioritized for completion before September's 50th anniversary celebrations.
According to the Works Secretary, 3 major road projects are underway in the Karamui Salt Nomane district of Chimbu province. Of this, the Chuave to Salt Nomane Karamui Road will be given top priority.
In Kumuni and Chuave. So we visited the site today to see how we can able to work with the provincial government and the district at Karamui to try and connect the missing link before September 16 this year. So that's our target. Our target is to reach the Karamui station before September 16.
Highlighting its economic potential, the Secretary said,
Our Connect PNG program is one of the high economic potential sites in the country, and the government is very interested to develop that particular valley into an economic hub of our province here in Chimbu as well.
Simbu provincial member Noah Kool said the people of Karamui have suffered for the last 50 years and welcomed this initiative by the national government.
We've been struggling for the last 50 years. I think for the next 50 years, we must see some good things happening in Karamui.
Karamui MP Francis Alua said Karamui has immense economic potential and the government's investment is a sound one.
If we open this road up, it will mean a lot of things to especially for my district. But this is one part of the country that needs to be opened up, especially when we are reaching 15 years of independence.
The Connect PNG program is a major infrastructural initiative aimed at improving roads. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
The Dei District in the Western Highlands province is grappling with significant infrastructural challenges, with calls for urgent government intervention. The issues were raised by Jeremiah Pim, a concerned local and son of the late member for Dei Open.
The district faces infrastructural challenges, including deteriorating road and bridge facilities. According to Mr. Pim, a significant bridge connecting a secondary school and a clinic has collapsed, despite the Western Highlands provincial governments having 300,000 kina for reconstruction. Mr. Pim said Dei people have been neglected from having access to basic services for 3 years.
Representative, councillors and presidents also work with the local member. People are not member now the staff. And all we want is a representative in parliament giving basic service to people. And people are right for this one, basic services. One kind of support, not from districts, not from provinces. Now people are handicapped, people staff, people need a representative. The by-election people are delayed to stop. And because the ongoing case, with due respect to democratic right for man and justice is paramount in Libla. People need justice. Now Libla stop nothing. Libla stop nothing whatsoever. Me like him respective authorities law kind of looks out of Libla. And it's necessary. It's necessary for them to play their part.
Mr. Pim also said floods and landslides along the Kotna and Tiki Road needed urgent intervention.
You got landslide from Kotna to Tiki, Malam Minchim, there's another landslide there too. Nogat on the line looking at, it's still there, Nogat on the changes come up. And there are many more other issues there. And needing intervention or respective authorities.
He said that Dei District is a vital economic hub for the province.
Now this like a neglect na Nogat looks out there. Causing plenty inconvenience. Besides the economic, there's no much changes to it. But New Masaos and the council makes part of Western Highlands. It makes up Papua New Guinea as a whole. So this like I know what looks like neglect. Causing them people still cry at this stuff.
Mr. Pim urged community leaders, business people, and responsible government agencies to speak up for the people of Dei. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Now moving to overseas news. Newly elected Pope Leo has delivered his first Sunday prayer to tens of thousands of worshippers in St. Peter's Square.
The Catholic world is continuing to speculate as to how Pope Leo XIV will run the papal office. We've been speaking to friends of the Pope who say that Pope Leo XIV is a more calm, reserved, shy figure than his predecessor, but we've already been given clear indications that he'll look to follow in the footsteps of the late Pope Francis. He's described his legacy already as being quite precious and made many mentions of world peace, which was, of course, a focus of Francis.
In today's dramatic scenario of a third world war being fought, as Pope Francis has repeatedly stated, I too appeal to the great ones of the world, repeating the ever-relevant plea, no more war.
But in terms of how he'll approach the geopolitical aspects of the job, well, that, of course, we'll get more insight into that, of course, when he addresses the media, and he's expected to do that on the afternoon of Monday, Rome time, where it's almost certain he'll be asked by the many American reporters here about his views on the Trump administration and immigration policy. Pope Leo XIV, when he was Cardinal Robert Prevost, made some opinions on that issue pretty clear on social media and the like. He'll be inaugurated here at the Vatican on the 18th of May, and then the job really begins. The Catholic world will be focusing on how the new pontiff handles the many issues and challenges facing the Catholic Church.
Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky challenged President Vladimir Putin to meet for ceasefire talks this week.
Well, it now depends all on Vladimir Putin, actually, and certainly we've seen this war going on for 3 years, and if everybody shows up in Istanbul, I'm sure they will have a meeting, irrespective of the ceasefire at the moment. However, we have to keep in mind that President Trump proposed the ceasefire on 11th of March. Ukraine accepted the terms of the ceasefire unconditionally, and Russia never accepted those terms of the ceasefire.
And Ambassador, do you expect, as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he does, that Russia will agree to a ceasefire today, and if so, that it could hold in any case?
We remain hopeful, but let's see what happens in Moscow when Putin wakes up. It's very difficult to speculate what can come out of it, because there are so many different ways of how this can happen, or even Putin not even showing up. So we cannot speculate on this. Certainly, we don't really trust the Russians. We never trusted them, and we cannot trust Putin. The thing is, is Russia really interested in peace, or they're interested in waging the war? Because you have to remember that the objective that Putin has announced 3 years ago was total destruction of Ukraine and subjugation of the Ukrainian nation, and this is what he's been pursuing for the past 3 years. He was not able to achieve his objectives. He only controls 20% of the Ukrainian territory, and he hasn't really achieved any of the objectives he actually set forth. So we'll see what Russians do actually at this stage. but certainly we have no trust. We believe that there is a chance for diplomacy, and for diplomacy to take place, Russians must accept a 30-day ceasefire unconditionally. And they know what will happen if they don't. I think the European leaders who were in Ukraine yesterday, they made it very clear there is a support from the US president. As you have seen, they called President Donald Trump while in Ukraine, and they have said that if Russians don't accept the ceasefire, more sanctions will be imposed on their shadow fleet, on the energy sector, on their banking sector. So I think these are very harsh conditions which are being announced to the Russians, and now it's up to Vladimir Putin to accept them or not. So of course it's a positive sign, and certainly I agree with everything President Zelensky says. We have to remember he appointed me, so certainly he's our wartime leader who we admire, and his leadership has been stellar, and this is what has helped Ukraine survive. And we certainly appreciate and very grateful for the support of all the nations that have supported us, including Australia. But we do see how
Hamas says it's prepared to release dual American-Israeli hostage on Tuesday in a goodwill gesture as it tries to negotiate a fresh ceasefire deal with Israel.
The announcement was made by Hamas's leader, Khalil al-Hayya, on social media, saying that the Israeli-American hostage, Adan Alexander, would be released by Hamas as early as Tuesday. Now, this is significant for a number of reasons. Firstly, there had been grave concerns for Adan Alexander after Hamas said a few weeks ago it had lost contact with the militants who were guarding him during Israel's bombardment of the Strip. The fact that they are now saying that he will be released in the next couple of days suggests that contact was made once more and that he is still alive. Secondly, this offer being made by Hamas is the first movement we have seen over the last couple of weeks after negotiations on a ceasefire and fresh hostage deal had stalled between Israel and Hamas. That process has been ongoing for many weeks now, in fact many months since that initial ceasefire was agreed to back in late January. It ran its 6-week course. There was a 2-week sort of limbo period where the ceasefire was technically still holding, but the terms of which had expired before Israel resumed its bombardment of the Strip in mid-March. This is a movement there, an offer from Hamas, which is being made in goodwill. The reason that the parties have not been able to come to an agreement is that they're both accusing each other of stymieing this process. Hamas says Israel has been avoiding meaningful negotiations on formally ending the war. It has said that it would be prepared to release the 59 hostages it still holds if that process was to begin. Israel, in turn, has been demanding Hamas lay down its weapons as part of any negotiations, something which the group says is a red line for it. We also need to read into this or pay attention to the timing of this announcement. Adan Alexander being released as early as Tuesday, that coincides with the US President Donald Trump's arrival in the Middle East. He's not expected to be making a trip to Israel. He is focusing his attention on Saudi Arabia, on Qatar and on the United Arab Emirates. But the shadow of the war in Gaza is casting a long shadow across the entire region. And there had been speculation that Donald Trump would use his trip to this area to make the pitch for a fresh ceasefire and hostage deal.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods. Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom more bundles. Top up now.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
Hey PNG, do you think you have what it takes to be the next star of MTV's Vocal Fusion?
And I told you when I'm gone, baby.
Well, it's back again and we're on the hunt for PNG's next biggest singing sensation. We're back with Vocal Fusion Season 12 and we can't wait to meet you. From the Highlands to the Islands, we're calling out to you. Meet us this May in Port Moresby for the auditions. It's Vocal Fusion Season 12.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. After round 5 of the PNG National Rugby League competition, the Lace-Next Tigers, PRK Mendi Muruks and Moniplas NCDC Pom Vipers have emerged as the front runners, all sitting on 9 points.
The Tigers led the pack with a massive points differential of 92, showcasing the skills and dedication on the both end of the field. Closely behind are the Muruks 74 and Vipers 18, each with 4 wins and a draw. Croton Hela Wigmen trail behind Vipers in 4th on 8 points, while Central Dabaris on 5 points. Egma Gurias and Gorokalanis and Wage Tumbe are fighting to gain ground, all sitting on 4 points. The Engamioks and Eagles on 3 points, leaving Galfiso on 2 points. Meanwhile, the Kimbekatas continue to struggle, remaining winless with a negative 104 points differential. Jonathan Sebona, Trukai Sports.
PNG national women's team goalkeeper and under-16 national under-16 goalkeeper coach Faith Kasere has been appointed as the first dedicated women's goalkeeping development officer within the Oceania Football Member Association.
PNGFA said this significant step sees Kasere take on full-time role with the Papua New Guinea Football Association. The current Papua New Guinea women's national team goalkeeper, Faith Kasere, first represented the country at the age of 14 in 2014 Youth Olympic Games in China. Her impressive playing career includes participation in the 2016 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup at 16 and victories in the 2022 OFC Women's Nations Cup, as well as the gold medals at the 2019 and 2023 South Pacific Games. PNGFA General Secretary Amjad Tekwi and staff fully supports Faith Kasire continue her playing career alongside their new responsibilities in developing future goalkeeping talent for the national women's team. OFC Women's Development Officer Ashley Cox hailed the appointment as the first for the Oceania region. Expressing her enthusiasm, Kasire said she is very happy to work with the Football Association collectively to build women's football. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The Mariners defeated Mudmen by 4 wickets in a tough challenge of the men's Isuzu T20 Smash today.
Chasing down target of 115, the Mariners reached 116 on 6-wicket falls with 1 ball to spare. Captain Asadola Vala anchored the inning with a strong 47 of 46 balls, hitting 2 boundaries and a 6 to steady the chase. Christopher Kilapet scored 33 points from 37 deliveries. Michael Charlie 9 of 6 and Billy Maher 2 of 1 sealed the win, while a total of 8 extras helped ease the chase. Mudmen posted 114 points from 9 wicket falls in the allotted 20 overs, but their bowlers couldn't defend the score. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Chicken kebab saja ya? Ya.
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you.
And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, 1 cube at a time. Welcome to Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort in the heart of Kokopo. Nestled along the coastline with breathtaking views of the islands and volcanoes, we invite you to share this tropical island paradise with us. For your next business trip, leisure or marine adventure, call Kokopo Beach Bungalow Resort to discuss your escape on 982-8788 or visit us on www.kbb.com.pg. Escape, explore, enjoy.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
I'm Martha, and each week on Kai Time, we introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. From the pasta, the white sauce. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local markets. Tune in to Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number 1 to watch, MTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Now moving to overseas sports. In NRL, Cronulla Sharks won the Battle of the Beaches, defeating Manly 30 to 14 points at Brookvale Oval.
Burn would describe as a Category 5 storm. That's Melbourne's storm. They demolished the West Tigers 64-0 in Melbourne. Absolutely wild. Ryan Pappenhausen, he scored a record-breaking 36 points as the Storm put on an absolute clinic. As you can imagine, Benji Marshall wasn't pleased. Have a look.
Yep, everyone's disappointed, embarrassed. Probably a few other words you could use, but it's not good enough.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The Morning Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
This May and June, Port Moresby comes alive with the historic Asia Pacific Month, a spectacular celebration of our shared heritage and unity. Join us as we honor 50 years of independence by celebrating the nations that helped shape PNG. From May 16 to June 21st, experience the cultures and stories of our Asia Pacific family. Our nationhood was shaped by centuries of connection with our Asia-Pacific family. Now, we celebrate this history together. Taste the authentic cuisines, witness breathtaking performance, and explore our shared history, all in amazing Port Moresby. Don't miss the Asia-Pacific Month, every weekend from May 16th to June 21st. Free entry for all. We work, we inspire, we celebrate.
The trade balance between PNG and Europe is in the favor of PNG for 4 billion kina.
Join us tonight at 7 as we hold discussions with the European Union delegation to Papua New Guinea.
So it's about public diplomacy, it's about trade and relations, it's about defining how we work with the government. So this is the usual role of any, I would say, embassy in the world.
That's all tonight.
More than the life we've known, there is more to what the future holds. You be holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And now looking at the Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, partly sunny with possible afternoon rain and thunderstorm. And Popondetta, partly sunny with possible afternoon rain and thunderstorm. In the Momase region, Ley City, partly sunny with possible afternoon rain and thunderstorm, and Vanimo, mostly cloudy with afternoon rain showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly sunny with afternoon rain showers, Buka, cloudy with rainy period and possible thunderstorms. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, cloudy periods with possible afternoon rain and thunderstorm, and Mendi, Tari and Wabek, cloudy periods with rain and possible thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 12th of May 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.